Good morning. All right, I'm Julie Hatfield coming at you from Michigan. It's gray, gloomy, cold, typical Michigan winter. So hopefully it is warmer and sunnier where you are coming in from. I just wanted to jump in here. My nephew's with me today, so we might have a little voice in the background. But I wanted to come in here today to answer some of those common questions that we are getting from members about CBD. So if you're looking for kind of a brief overall class, this probably isn't where you're going to get it. I did include a link in the description for this Facebook Live, so you can click on that and it will take you to kind of a quick class I did in July or August on our CBD line. So if that's what you're looking for, click on that link. I'm going to kind of go through some common questions that we're getting from members so that you guys can feel comfortable using the CBD products that Young Living has. So fairly new. It was Christmas, like around the holidays, I guess of 18, right? We're in 20 now. So a little over a year when Young Living announced, hey, look, we don't have CBD products yet, but we have kind of given our stamp of approval to another company. So a lot of Young Living members, we know the value of quality of our products. We really stand behind seed to seal, and we know how important that is. And so Young Living members were looking for a quality source for CBD. And in case you don't know, a lot of products out there, CBD products out there, are not good quality products. A lot of them are adulterated. A lot of them have chemicals in them, depending on the extraction method, depending on where the product is grown. So there's a lot of information out there that you can research too. But a lot of people just don't really do the research, and they know that they've heard from friends that CBD worked really good for them, and so they just get whatever is out there. And you can get CBD at the gas station now. So it is literally everywhere. I did do a video previously about why it's important to know your supplier, and also why it's important to know the extraction method of your CBD products. And so in this Facebook group, there's something called units. And if you go to units, I think there's a unit called All About CBD or something. So everything will be in there that you can check out. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a background, some people ask, why Young Living or Nature's Ultra? So when Young Living made the announcement a little over a year ago that we've given our stamp of approval to this company, they follow our seed to seal guidelines and guarantee. The CBD is infused with Young Living essential oils, and we know that this company is safe with high quality CBD. So that was originally kind of what happened. So I didn't really educate much on it because, one, I didn't really know a whole lot about it. And when you try and research, it's very confusing. You don't really know, who to believe or what's good information. And so I also didn't feel like I needed it myself. I wasn't needing it on my family. And so I didn't know how to educate that to other people when I wasn't using it or seeing the value in it myself. Then come convention in July of 19, they announced that Nature's Ultra was underneath the Young Living umbrella. So while it's one extra click, and that's to protect our military families, you earn PV for it, it's free shipping, and we get a wholesale discount since we're Young Living members. And so that was announced at convention. They also had a lot of different educational breakout sessions, and so I went to one by Dr. Harry, who was Gary Young's naturopath, and then Doc Ali, who is a medical physician. So I went to both of those so I could get it from the kind of the Western medicine side and the alternative holistic health side. I also went down and spent time in the Nature's Ultra booth and talked to the physician on staff with Nature's Ultra. His name's Dr. Call, and spoke to the CEO of Nature's Ultra and really educated myself. And then I understood what CBD does, and I understood the endocannabinoid system in the body and how beneficial CBD could actually be for a lot of different people for many different reasons. And so I started educating myself. I came back. I started teaching classes. I wanted people to try things, sample stuff. We've been using them. All 4 of our family members have been using some of the CBD products. And it's been a kind of a fun journey to learn about that. So we wanted to jump in here because there are still some kind of common questions that we're getting. I asked you guys yesterday to kind of type in or comment below any questions that you had. And so then I'm going to kind of jump into that. So again, I have smaller videos that you can check out, know your supplier, but just in a nutshell, hemp as a crop is like a sponge. So it absorbs everything from the soil. It absorbs contaminants and heavy metals and insecticides, pesticides, herbicides, everything that's in the soil. It's absorbed, and then it's in the hemp plant, and then ultimately ends up in the CBD product. So it's very important to know where your hemp is grown. I think it's 80 to 90% of our hemp is grown in China and South America, and we know that it's grown in very contaminated soil. So 85% of all CBD products are contaminated with solvents and chemicals and whatnot. You don't want that in your system. Young Living's hemp grows in organic soil in Colorado, and they follow the whole seed to seal guarantee. So that's important to know who your supplier is. The second thing is to know how the CBD is extracted. So even if it's grown in clean organic soil without pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, if it's extracted using a chemical solvent, then ultimately that solvent can be found in the end CBD product. So Young Living uses something called a supercritical CO2 extraction. And I have a video on that that's a little bit smaller, or shorter, but basically CO2, high pressures, low temps, turns the gas into a liquid, goes through your plant material, and then out is extracted the CBD isolate. And so again, we're not using the chemical solvents. There's a lot of companies that will because it's cheaper, it's easier, but then your end product is contaminated with those solvents. So it's important to know the extraction method. The other thing people will ask is, so what's with the essential oil infused CBD product line? So we are actually the first essential oil company to have essential oil infused CBD products. And this is why it's important. And it's going to go back to the difference between something called full spectrum versus smart spectrum. So if you have been talking to family and friends and they're like, oh, I need to be on a full spectrum CBD. What full spectrum CBD is when the company uses the entire plant material in the processing system. So when they're processing the plant, it's all used. And what comes in the plant is chlorophyll and THC and terpenes from the other plant material has terpenes in it. But what happens, you have the THC in there, but you also have the terpenes, and the terpenes create a synergistic effect. And so we didn't want to take away that quality because there is something to be said about that synergy. And when terpenes are in with the final CBD product, it works better than if it was without it. So what Young Living did is they did this supercritical CO2 extraction. So we have a pure CBD isolate, which is 0% THC, and I'll get to that in a second what that means. But then we infused it with our essential oils, which have terpenes. So we now have that same synergistic effect that a full spectrum CBD does, but without the THC. And so you don't have to worry things about drug screening or feeling high. Okay, so without the THC, there's no psychotropic effects, and you don't have to worry about a positive drug screen ever. We even had a Cody Cowler, who is a diamond with Young Living, show us her drug screen that was negative. That's very important for certain careers. So, if you are in the medical field, if you're a truck driver, if you drive a bus, there's certain medical fields that if you ever tested positive, you'd be gone. So it's awesome to know that you have a pure THC-free, so 0% THC, but with the terpenes in it from the essential oils, so you still get that synergistic effect. Okay. So I covered drug tests. Somebody asked that question. Is there any chance that you'd ever test positive for a drug test? So that's a no. Will you feel high? You will never feel high because it doesn't have the psychotropic effects from the THC. Can't get addicted to this because, again, it's that THC is out of that. Now, if you do have THC in there, it does things to our body. One of which, when somebody is on a product that has THC all the time, the THC actually can inhibit your body from creating something called anandamide. And anandamide is a bliss hormone. It makes us feel good. And so if you're using a product with THC, it binds and you can't create that anandamide. So another reason why Young Living's CBD products are superior, because you don't have that THC yet. You're still getting that synergistic effect with the essential oils in there. So somebody asked, what's the best place to apply the Calm Roll-On for emotional support? So keep in mind that the fastest way to our brain cells and with the essential oils is through the limbic system. And the limbic system is in our brain, so it's direct inhalation The oils are across the blood-brain barrier because they're very small, and then they work right on the limbic system. So sometimes I might apply the Calm Roll-On right underneath my nose, so I'm smelling it. It's also topical, so it's getting absorbed, but I'm smelling that. I know a lot of people like to rub their Calm Roll-On their wrists, maybe behind your ears, similar places to where you rub your essential oils for emotional support, okay? So that was one. How often can it be applied? When you don't have the THC in there, and it's the same thing with our essential oils. They're adaptogens, so they're working our bodies the way we need them to. You can kind of apply them as often as you need to. So if you have this little bad boy in your pocket and you feel like you need to apply it every half hour, go for it. Just stripe on your wrist and stripe underneath your nose, behind your ears, on your ears. We have a lot of emotional VitaFlex points on our earlobes, so you can do it that way. Oh, well, I've got this in my hand. Somebody said, how can you tell how much is left in the roll-ons? So if you get a flashlight, and if you have kids in your household, you never know if your flashlights are going to work, but I tested this before. You can turn the flashlight on and set the bottle on there. Can you see that line right there? So that's what's left in my Calm Roll-On. So if you're trying to determine when I need to order, grab a flashlight and take a look and see what is left. So that was one of the questions. Let's see. Another question was med interactions. So interactions with CBD and other medications. And this is an important one. And I always could say, ask your doctor. I do know that not a whole lot of medical doctors know the answer to it. And so you might not get a straightforward answer. But here's the gist of it. CBD is metabolized through something called the cytochrome P450 metabolism pathway. And so if you're on other medications that metabolize through that same pathway, it can interfere or it can affect how fast that medication is metabolized. So a good way to kind of know if that's the case is if you are on a medication that says avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice, then you probably need to avoid the CBD as well, because grapefruit and grapefruit juice inhibits the cytochrome P450 pathway, which changes the metabolism of those medications. It's also going to do the same thing for the CBD products. And so, blood thinners can be on there, cholesterol medications, common ones like Lipitor. So there are some other cholesterol medications that are not metabolized from the cytochrome P450. So definitely don't go, I can't use it. Talk to your doctor and say, I really would like to use this. I need to get on a different medication. What are my options? Because there are different options out there. So that's kind of one. Liver failure or liver cirrhosis, anything, liver-wise, definitely would avoid the CBD until you to talk to your doctor about that for the same reason in terms of metabolizing it. Okay. Always, I always tell people, as a physician assistant myself, always, run things by your doctor. But again, modern medicine isn't quite in the know of some of the alternative and holistic therapies. And so sometimes you have to do your own research too. But if you were to Google what prescription medications interact with CBD or what medications out there, you're going to probably get a list of different medications that are metabolized through that pathway. But kind of the big thing is I always tell people, look at your bottles, and if it says to avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice, you definitely need to talk to your doctor before starting the CBD products. So med interactions, let's see. Somebody asked about migraines. I'm going to touch on that only because I have a personal testimony or within our family of migraines. So Todd, that's actually what got me into Young Living, was looking for an alternative for his migraines. He was getting a migraine when we were at convention, and he went down into the Nature's Ultra booth, and he's bald. So he put the joint and muscle balm all over his head, and he said it took it away. Just that piece of it, that's what I'm going to share. But here's kind of a black and white, and it's not black and white. Nothing in life is black and white, right? But if you are dealing with an isolated problem, like my knee hurts, my elbow hurts, my shoulder hurts, my head hurts, something like that, the CBD and muscle balm, this stuff is amazing. It literally, it's I got this out when I was going to teach a class in October, and Todd tried it, and he's like, that works. It's almost instant pain relief. Okay, so that works really, really well. If it is, emotional, sleep, that kind of thing, you have your Calm Roll-On, that works really well. And then the drops, I always tell people, if it's something systemic, it's affecting your entire body, you just need support in a lot of different places, then maybe you want to do the drops, okay? While these will say for topical use only. That's an FDA thing. They can't recommend doing CBD internally. Most people are using the drops sublingually. I know we do. We put the drops underneath our tongue, underneath our girl's tongue. We use them in one of our dogs. And so a lot of people use their CBD internally. Again, it's whatever your comfort, where you're comfortable doing. So that's migraines. Hot flashes. Somebody asked about hot flashes. To me, if you're having hot flashes, that's a hormonal thing, an endocrine thing, a systemic thing. Basically what I just said in terms of taking these, maybe under the tongue. Anything we're messing around with hormones, though, please give yourself several months for things to balance and adjust. It's anything hormone related. Even when I'm helping people with essential oils or maybe increasing or adding in thyromin, you have to give your body time to make those adjustments. So somebody asked, can you take it internally? We do, and we can feel comfortable doing that. How often? We use ours twice a day. So that's just kind of the morning and night. It's kind of the routine we've gotten into that. Safe dose. So in terms of safe, this doesn't have THC in it, so you don't have anything in there that's making you high. You could probably, I'm not suggesting this, but somebody could have probably this whole bottle and it's not going to do anything to them. But when you get this, you will have a dropper in there. And so the dropper has, 0.25 mLs, a half an ml, 0.75, and 1 ml. 1 ml is like 20 drops. And so that's kind of, you can start, a lot of people will just start with like a 1/4 ml under their tongue morning and night. And I say that, do that for like a week. I'm always like, start low and go slow, right? So just start with like 5 drops under your tongue morning and night. Do that for a week. And if you don't notice any symptom resolution, then increase it to a half a milligram or a milliliter per morning and night, and try that for another week. And if that doesn't do it, try the 0.75 milliliters and try that, and just kind of work your way up until you find that symptom resolution. I'd hate to tell everybody, because I know the instruction on this tell you to just take a whole dropper full. You might not need a whole dropper full, so I don't want you to waste it if your body doesn't need it. Okay, so start low, go slow, and you can kind of increase your way up. What to use. So somebody asked, what would I even start with? And it really depends on what you're trying to achieve. What symptoms are you looking to hit? So I kind of went through that. So if you've got like localized joint discomfort or whatever, the balm is amazing. Emotional support, you have your roll-on. The other drops. So now these are infused. We have 3 different flavors. We have cinnamon, which is infused with cinnamon bark. Citrus, which is infused with orange and grapefruit, I believe. And then we have, I was going to verify that. Yeah, orange grapefruit. And then we have cool mint, which is peppermint and wintergreen. So we know what these individual oils do for us, right? I mean, I could probably ask all of you guys like what you use your peppermint for. Okay, so we know that peppermint has menthol in it, which is a natural analgesic. So if you were hoping to use your CBD because you kind of have like full body muscle aches and pains and joints that bother you because you're getting, as you're aging, so you might use the cool mint, okay? If I ask you guys what you use your citrus oils for, you might tell me they make you feel good and they lift your spirits and they help you through this dingy weather in the winter. And so if you're looking for emotional support, you might choose the citrus. The cinnamon, we know cinnamon does amazing things for regulating our blood sugars. So if you need that kind of support, you might choose the cinnamon. Now I say all that, but if you like need pain support and you hate the mint flavor, then get the citrus. It will still do its job with the CBD in there. And our essential oils have so many different uses because of all the different constituents in them. Okay, so that's kind of what to use. Let's see. I went through full spectrum versus smart spectrum. Okay, this does say I would, with the drops, definitely shake them because there's fractionated coconut oil in there, and then anything just will kind of naturally layer out. So shake it before use, and then all of these, I believe, say to refrigerate to maintain freshness. Yes, to preserve freshness, keep refrigerated. So once you open these, stick them in the refrigerator. I'm just going to kind of look through my class notes that I usually teach on, just to give you guys make sure that I covered all maybe those common questions that our members have been asking us. We just wanted to jump on and give them to everyone because we figure if somebody has questions, more people probably have questions and they're not asking. Resources. So resources for the CBD products. This is a book that Cody Lynn Kaller wrote. She's a diamond with Young Living, CBD Plant-Based Wellness. And it's like a 20, 30-page booklet. And it kind of gives you some background on it, introduction, CBD oil, how cannabinoids work in our body, our endocannabinoid system, processing, the CBD isolate, terpenes, which we covered. And it also talks about all the different oils that we have with Young Living that have terpenes in it. So that's pretty fun because we can really customize our CBD experience with the different essential oils we use with our CBD, okay? It talks about CBD application, and they talk about topical, oral, or sublingual, and there's other ways of using it too. And then it talks about the therapeutic grade oils and why CBD. So it talks about different studies. We have scientific research studies for CBD. This is not like a hoax. I mean, we have medical data showing how CBD impacts the endocannabinoid system in our body, which enacts physical changes and emotional. It talks about in just our starter kit of how all the terpenes in the oils that are just in your premium starter kit. So if you're just getting started and you're like, I don't have some of those oils Julie's talking about, you do in your starter kit. Okay. Cody Lynn Kaller also has, you can get this at growinghealthyhomes.com. She also has a flyer. It's a 50 sheet tear off. And it's just a double-sided sheet. Very brief. What is CBD? What's the endocannabinoid system? THC versus CBD. How to use the CBD. Did you know? That's kind of interesting. Top 5 questions about CBD. So will I flunk a drug test? We covered that. Does CBD interact with medications? We covered that. Oh, is CBD safe while breastfeeding? So it says, talk with your doctors. It can be found cannabinoids can be found in human breast milk. So this is why CBD works for us. So CBD is considered a phytocannabinoid, which is a cannabinoid that comes from plants. We also have something in our body called endocannabinoids, which are cannabinoids that our body produces. Okay, so that's why CBD works, because we have receptors in our body for our endocannabinoid system, and our endocannabinoids bind to that, but that's why phytocannabinoids can bind to it as well. So it says, no conclusive studies have been done to show negative side effects of CBD while nursing. However, THC has been found to concentrate in breast milk, which may lower motor function in the baby and can stay in the babies for up to 3 weeks. So that's why it's very important that you would never want to use a CBD product that had THC in it while you were breastfeeding. In my opinion, I would just stay away from it because you don't want it to decrease your ability to make the anandamide. The next question is CBD safe for my pets? We use it on our pets. I know many people in our team use it on their pets. And so, yes, your pet can receive many of the same health boosting benefits. It's been shown to help lessen anxiety, relieve pain, reduce seizures, and overall support health and wellness. If you have concerns, speak to your veterinarian. We have a couple vets on our team. You might be able to ask specific questions to them. And then, is CBD legal in my state? That is something that you'll have to look into. So we do have the Farm Bill, but then each state has their own laws around CBD. So, in Michigan, it's legal, but it would definitely be something to look into, the laws of your state. And then also Doc Ollie Wanker, who I told you he's a medical physician. He wrote The Power of CBD and Essential Oils, and I love this book. This is like over a 300-page book, but at the end, the last 60 pages are all the scientific research studies that are quoted in this book. What I really like about it is there is a section where it's like CBD in skin, CBD in pain, CBD in anxiety, CBD in sleep, CBD in neurological conditions, CBD in cancer. And you can find studies and data, and he does do the whole history of hemp in the front of this, which is interesting. We've had hemp around forever, and then politics got involved, and they tried to kind of lump it in with the drug cartels and all of that, and it got a negative connotation, and so went away for a while, and people are kind of rediscovering that. And then they also talk about the different essential oils in the back of this. So this book's fabulous to have. The CBD picture. Okay, so please post So I'll post it in the comments, but the plant-based wellness is Cody Lynn Kaller, and the power of CBD and essential oils is Doc Ollie Winker. The CBD plant-based wellness is at Growing Healthy Homes. This book can be found at Discover LSP. I'll put that in the description of this video. I think I kind of went through everyone's questions. So if there's any more, feel free to comment below. I'll pop back and kind of check this. I'm going to put this video into our units section. And, while you're there, check out the other units we have, because we're trying to organize education so it's easy for members to find things and they don't get overwhelmed, especially new members that are like just getting their kit and they don't even know what lavender does for them. So we're trying to help all of the new ones out there so that we can all remember what it's like when we started at the beginning, right? I remember when I got my kit, it was overwhelming. I didn't even really know what to use. Thank God I had my EOPR, because that kind of directed me. And, getting taught off of 4 pharmaceutical medications, it changed the whole career path that I had. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful. Have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.